Hello, people of the internet. It is I, Dragon here, back with more Fate Stay Night Remaster, where we are about to go into Day 14 of Unlimited Blade Works. Before we do begin Day 14, please, for me, be sure to like this video. Comment down below if you've got anything to say, such as, commenting on how dumb Shiro is and how his idiocy is rubbing off on the rest of the cast. Follow me on Twitch so you can know when I go live. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can catch when everything is published. And join the Discord down below as well. That's there. I was wondering real quick if that was a different color, and it is. Cool. So, we are going to begin from Day 14. Excuse me. Let us begin. So we do know there is at least one more bad end in UE dubs. So that's something I'm going to have to be looking out for. Day 14 is called Night Stay Night. Now, the game is called Fate Stay Night. Come on. That was the perfect time for a title drop. Gosh. So, as a recap, in Day 13, Shiro tried to go and get Ilya's help with Reen, only to walk in on Herc the Zerk being murked by Gilgamesh. And then Ku came along, offered to help us reclaim Seba, and that's kind of where it was. There was a single bad end where if we rejected Ku's offer, or I guess if we did not try to stop Gilgamesh from murking Ilya, which is a choice, I guess. In which case I don't think Ku would have showed up, but semantics. Before that, just one conversation as we head off to the Kotomene Church to reclaim our Seba. When they got out of the forest and the day breaks, before they head to the church, the girl tells him the fact that she kept hidden. I'll tell you this now, but that pendant you gave me back is one of a kind. She doesn't say what that means, and he doesn't pursue it further. That's because this is an unnecessary matter when they're about to fight their biggest enemy, Castor. You know the bigger enemy here, Shiro, Rin. You cannot say Castor is your biggest enemy when you literally just watched somebody turn Hercules, however you want to pronounce him, into a shish kebab. Or a porcupine. Gosh, guys. Only one pendant. The one that he found in her room and returned to her. The one he picked up that night and put into his desk. Now is not the time to be pursuing that contradiction. Geez, I wonder if it's maybe because there's a connection between Archer and Shiro. No, that's silly. And that's all I have to say. The pendant that you found in my room is something Archer returned to me on the day you were stabbed by Lancer. I just assumed that was something he picked up. The decisive battle is near. The roof of the tall church can be seen in the corner when looking up at the sky. There's not really corners with the sky. Just saying, the sky does not really have any corners to it. Tosaka says she wants to confirm things one last time. Our roles are decided. Lancer will draw Archer and Saber away from Castor. We'll use that opening to fight Castor. In response to Lancer sarcastically asking if we'd be able to defeat Castor, yeah, I think I can outwit Castor if I fight her one-on-one. Oh, Reen. So arrogant. Tosaka replies with confidence. I don't know what she means by outwitting her. She wouldn't tell us even if we asked, so it must be a strategy that has lower success rate if she tells her allies. Then all I need to do is fulfill Tosaka's demands. I'll keep Kuzuki from protecting Castor, no matter what. I'll project his swords however many times is necessary to do that. I close my eyes and dive inside myself. The magic circuit that flows inside me is stable. Magecraft Beyond's one capacity will destroy the user themselves. The first time, half my body went numb. The second time, projection was surprisingly easy, and had no effect on my body. There's no guarantee that the third time will be the same, but I think there should be no problem if I'm just copying his swords. My body is stable. Through sheer awareness alone, I have access to the magic circuits that were so difficult to create before. It's like a fake nerve behind my normal nerve, and I'm able to reverse them with just the press of a button. I thought that said push for a moment. There's a part of me that wants to believe it's because I got used to it. I can easily prepare the swords. Projectile has become my primary weapon. It's improved greatly compared to 10 days ago. Not only has the control of my magic circuits improved, but even my sword technique has improved. The reason behind it. I stopped myself from thinking about the reason. It's top priority to defeat Castor and get Saber back. Asking myself stupid questions can come after the battle. My headache gets worse the closer I get to the church. And it's just like when I was looking for Tosaka, but I stopped thinking about that. The sunrise is gray, the sunlight blocked by the clouds, sealing the dawn's brightness. The sky above, cloudy. The sky is closer to black than gray and reminds me of that time, 10 years ago. Is it going to start raining soon? A dull white sky. That man was standing under the cloudy sky that smelled like it had just stopped raining. I knew you would come. He stares at Tosaka with cool eyes. Tosaka doesn't say anything and stares back at Archer. So what's the plan you prepared? You're not the type to challenge someone without one. Yeah, you're fighting me. I'm surprised. It's only been a few days since you lost me, and you already made a contract with a new servant. Good grief. I'm not one to talk, but you're quite fickle. Maybe cutting ties with you was the right thing to do. Ugh. It's fine, Shiro. Don't let it provoke you. She stops me, still staring at Archer. You know what's interesting? Rin calls Shiro by Shiro, but Shiro still thinks of Rin as Tosaka? That's kind of interesting. But it's obvious looking at her face. Even if she knows he's provoking her, it doesn't change the fact that those words hurt for her. I didn't like you from the start, but it seems you're rotten to the core. Does betrayal get on your nerves, Lancer? You're not even the one who got betrayed. How faithful of you. I'm not supporting the young lady. I just don't like how there are servants like you. A hero's pride, huh? Geez, everyone says the same thing. Even that caster had such a ridiculous thing. What honor do you have to protect when you're dead? To be honest, I can't understand how you people think. Yeah, you don't have to. I'll save you the trouble. Conversation ceases between the two of them. All that's left is Lancer's sharp intent to kill, and Archer's calm intent to kill. They're about 10 meters apart. Knight in red and blue, confronting each other like a reenactment of that night. Tosaka calls to the blue back. You two go inside. I'll catch up when I beat this guy. I know, but Lancer, Archer is... Yeah, I'll go easy on him. I need him to get on his knees and apologize to you. Without looking back, he smiles while still staring at Archer. Thanks. I'm glad you're the one who came to help us. We go around the two and run into the church. Archer the guard casually lets us go through. No, he had to let us go through. Archer's already confronting Lancer. If he gave us attention in such a situation, he would get stabbed in the chest by Lancer the next moment. You're at 620 or 320 or going for 350. Because it's been a while, I'm going to load up FGO just so I can relate what my current court situation is like. Either he doesn't let us go but gets attacked by Lancer, or he lets us go but confronts Archer. Out of curiosity, Infinity Lord, did you complete the 10 bonus objectives for 20 free quartz? Do not forget to do those. If he really is guarding this place, the choice should be obvious. We run around the courtyard and open the door to the church without hesitation. Behind us. Jeez, this is troublesome. What is Lancer? I'm at 349 myself. Well, I can't go easy after she thanks me like that. That's troubling, right? She's a great master, but I'm not one who's able to betray my master readily. You're rather naive, Lancer. Do you know the saying, the grass is always greener on the other side? What are you saying? Of course not. Yeah, Lancer's not all philosophical-like. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of rank-up quests, and in Friday's stream, I do intend to read off every single rank-up quest I did and what they did for me. And currently, that list is... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 servants long. I've done 17 rank up quests since the last FGO stream, and I've got another 2 I'll be able to do tonight, and 3 I'll be able to do tomorrow. So I'm looking at getting, like, 22 rank up quests total done in between last stream and this stream. We don't have much time. We'll beat Caster before Lancer and Archer settle their match. I know, we shouldn't waste your breath. So are you sure I can leave Caster to you, Tosaka? Yeah, I'm sure I'll be thoroughly cornered, but don't help me. You can just try to keep Mr. Kuzuki away as long as possible. We go past the chapel and head to the door leading to the courtyard. I won't hesitate if Tosaka says so. Most of all, I don't know if I could back her up even if she were in trouble. My opponent is Kuzuki. I wouldn't even be able to dodge his first attack if I'm paying attention to her. Caster's presence is getting closer. She must not even be hiding her powers as the church is surrounded by Caster's magical energy. With this amount, she must already know about our raid. Hey, Janice. Welcome to the stream, Abby Things. I knit together the illusion as carefully as I can using the 8 steps. I got used to it, as his swords are in both hands within a minute. I feel a light headache. Even though I'm getting used to it, it still takes some sort of toll on my body after all. Projection is certainly affecting my body without me realizing it. Is it my imagination? For a moment I thought she hung her head in sorrow while running next to me. No, Shiro, you need to be lost oblivious, man. We go down through the darkness. Hey, Velvet, welcome to the stream. Happy things. You did it? You did what? You got 100 subs on... No, I was gonna say you got 100 subs on Twitch, but Speedran LB7. Nice. How did you find one radiant thing? Because that was a very stupidly long raid to have to go through. So long. Like 6 hours long. Good gracious, that was painful. And I did it all in one stream. We run down the stairs that go underground and out to the open area. And after that, we jump off the railing of the stairs and down to the sanctuary like before. You guys are like monkeys jumping down like that. I don't know why you're in such a hurry, but at least use the stairs if you're human. We land in the sanctuary. This is supposed to be a surprise attack, but Caster greets us with composure. There's Kuzuki standing beside Caster. Probably took only a bit longer because they only used one servant each time. Oh, same here. I mean, I did the same thing, Velvet. I did the exact same thing. I pretty much used one servant because I wanted to get the minimum number of servants needed for the whole thing. And yes, the final Tezcat Lapoka fight had the potential to be massive amounts of BS. He baited me on the first fight against him, and then I just brought in an Avenger single target Avenger Ushi and wrecked his face. But yeah, ORT, not an easy fight in the slightest. Not in the slightest, but it's done, and I'm sure they won't be throwing anything else as traumatic as that fight against us anytime soon. Right? We're not going to be facing any more trauma in FGO anytime soon. I'm totally anticipating there's going to be more trauma. I feel no enmity or bloodlust from him. That is his battle posture. His clear murderous intent is even hiding the dreadfulness of that man. In that regard, he's even more like an assassin than the servant assassin right now. Saber is at the altar. The situation is the same as 2 days ago. Saber is still tied to the ceiling with her head hanging down. Dot, dot, dot. Kualter. Yeah, I could definitely see it. Kualter is a beast. Certifiably, I'm pretty sure. I mean, Could Ku-Alter be a beast? I don't know. He doesn't really demonstrate love that much. But I bet that if he could love, his kind of love would be the toxic kind of love that would qualify him for a beast candidacy. I'm relieved we made it, but at the same time it worries me how awfully quiet she is. I feel like Saber was a bit more in pain before. She was shaking slightly, as if breathing with her whole body to go against Caster's magical energy. But she's silent now, like she's frozen. You know, something interesting with how they are taking the routes for the remaster. The first route, Saber is the main character, and it's meant to build upon your bond with Saber. She doesn't really face any kind of rough times in the Fate route. Like, she doesn't suffer or anything, essentially. UBW here, it's towards the end of the route, but she ends up getting captured and is implied to be suffering. So that makes you, feel bad for Saber, you want to save her, all that kind of stuff. And then, when Heaven's Field comes around, it's kind of the whole... It cranks things up to 11, I think is the best way to put it. Definitely cranks things up to 11 there. Poor Saber. She only really gets happy times in 1.5 routes. 1 3/4, we'll say. Only in 1 3/4 of the routes does she get happy times. The other 1 1/4 is just to suffer. Ku-Alter's just dead on the inside. What about Mini Ku-Alter, the plush version of him? Is he dead on the inside? I have a bad feeling. It's good Assassin's not here, but we won't be able to get out of here alive if my worries are true. We're here, Caster. I thought things through, but I've decided to have you eliminated. You're an eyesore, you're in my way, you're troublesome, and I don't like the way you dress. You look like you came from the countryside with a purple robe in this day and age. Wow, Reen. That's rude. Don't insult people's style. She insults Caster, who's full of composure as if refusing to lose against her. Even though she's saying such things, she must actually be feeling the opposite from the way she's slowly closing in on her. Now's not the time for me to be concerned about Saber either. If Tosaka is going to close in on Saber counterclockwise, I'll close in clockwise. Caster and Kuzuki. If we're going to separate them, we have to attack them from both sides and isolate our enemies. You seem to be making a big misunderstanding as someone who was let go. Are all mages nowadays so reckless? No wonder Archer gave up on you. Tosaka's insults must have worked, as Caster's only glaring at her. I use that opening to move. I move to the other side of Reen, where I can attack Caster from the other side. That was kind of implied. Kuzuki watches that in silence. I knew it. There's no way that man won't notice something like this. Shiro, you are not being subtle at all. Good lord, man. Shiro, a bit of advice here. If you wanted to subtly try and sneak around to the other side of Medea while Reen was taunting her, do not jump into the fray when Reen jumps into the fray. That has all eyes on the two of you. And with there being 2 of them, one person just needs to watch one person. So, in other words, Shiro, you cannot be surprised when Kuzuki, who you literally jumped down in front of, and you are wielding 2 swords in your hand, is watching you move. Oy vey. He's aware of everything. The fact that we're trying to defeat them one by one, and the fact that Reen came up with some kind of plan. Even with that in mind, he's letting Caster do as she wishes. It's not like he's being manipulated by her. He became her master of his own free will. There's that damn phrase again. I subverted it. But still, based on his passivity, Kuzuki is close to a puppet. Yeah, see, I don't mind Caster's drip. She looks pretty cool. Medea looks pretty cool with that robe. I mean, not really. I don't think there's Not until Heaven's Feel, actually, does there ever be somebody with presence concealment in the Fate route. A servant who is skilled in providing backup using magecraft, and a master who's skilled in hand-to-hand. Their roles are reversed, and I feel like their way of being is reversed as well. Caster who persistently seeks the Holy Grail, and the master who protects her with his own will. That makes me think, without a reason, that if Caster was a master, and Kuzuki was just a servant who protected her, then they wouldn't have fallen so low. Reen looks over at me. It means our positions are perfect. Then, the match will be settled if either of us attacks. Whether she and I get defeated or she defeats Caster before that, our battle with Caster will end here. Let's start then. This is the third time I'm fighting you. I'll settle this for the last time. Reen steps in closer. You're talking big? I doubt it, but do you seriously think you can win against me, young lady? In that case, we don't even need to fight. I'll let you go again this time so that you can go fix that personality of yours. Ooh, that's an insult for Reen. Like, implying she's got a bad personality? I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Reen does have an attitude at times. She does, but still. Of course I can win. Isn't that right? There's no way a first-class mage can lose to a third-class mage like you. Reen, stop altering Gilgamesh's words. He will literally show up and call you a faker for messing with what is his. Is that so? Then I suppose it can't be helped. It seems I need to discipline that arrogant mouth of yours, young lady. They brace themselves at the same time. With a few meters between them, they look like mirror images. Not really. That is the signal. I attack the defenseless caster. And of course I'm blocked by Kuzuki's blow. The ghost-like assassin is in front of me. I don't have the composure to watch over Reen and Caster's fight. He already knows my intentions. He'll not let me buy time. Letting out the snake that cornered even Saber, Kuzuki comes to take my life. I can hold him off for 1 minute at most. That should be the same for Reen. Yeah, it is a good soundtrack. Originally, this was a battle with no chance of victory had the roles not been reversed. There's no way we could win against the enemies who surpass us in both hand-to-hand and magecraft. Looking at it the other way, we can at least put up a fight. Reen would be killed in an instant if she fought Kuzuki. And Caster would end this just by pointing at me if I fought her. On the other hand, we may not be able to win, but at least we won't get killed in an instant. In other words, this battle's not about how we can defeat them, but a battle like walking on a tightrope to see how long we can hold off an opponent who's superior to us. Interlude? Interlude! Oh man, this isn't an interlude stream though. Whose interlude is this? Is it a caster interlude? No, it's either an archer or lancer interlude. Oh man, it's kind of ambiguous right now. Man, I hope it is a lancer interlude, because archer soloing a lancer is not easy. SpongeBob indeed. The lethal weapons cross. The twin swords and spear repeatedly attack, trying to take each other's necks. Hey J6, welcome to the stream. Happy things. Those attacks are continuous, without hesitation. Every blow that is released is meant to kill. Lancer's not an exception. Even though he told Reen, his ally, that he would take it easy, that becomes secondary once the battle starts. It merely means that if his spear happens to miss Archer's heart, and it doesn't kill him instantly, then he won't finish him off. Even in that case, his enemy will die, but Lancer would just need to drag Archer to Reen before he does. Lancer doesn't care what happens after that. It's hot. It's very wet where I am. Been getting some pretty severe thunderstorms all day. Off and on. The Crimson Demonic Spear invades the enemy territory. The spear breaks through Archer's defenses each time it thrusts. It is different from the battle before. Archer cannot handle Lancer's attacks, and that he was able to dodge that night. It's only natural. This is the second battle. Lancer was bound by a certain command spell. It's 106 for you, R. Oof. That is on the hotter side of things. I don't think it's even reached 100 degrees where I live yet this year. I don't think we've even had 100-degree day. To learn his enemy master's strengths, his master told Lancer. Oh wow! Man, if somebody could play this one without playing the Fate route, this voice line right here would spoil exactly who Lancer's master is. How could they spoil Lancer's master? Fight with everyone, but do not defeat them. Survive the battle against someone you're fighting against for the first time, no matter what. That's the only command he was given. He obeyed such a ridiculous command, and his no-holds-barred battle had finally come. Hey, you got a milkshake! Nice. Milkshakes are great. Therefore, there's no way this is the same as last battle. There's nothing binding Lancer, and Archer is now fighting at the fastest heroic spirit out of all servants. I guess Lancer does have the highest agility stat of the currently summoned ones. Anguish escapes from Archer for a second time. Even his hawk-like eyes cannot follow Lancer's spear. The trajectory is no more than a point to start with. That was changing into a flash of light now. He cannot see the tip of the spear closing in on him. Even the movements of Lancer's arms and legs are speeding up to reach the realm that is no longer visible. He was able to dodge this much because he knew Lancer's spear from the last battle. He's doing what he can now, using the fact that he's inferior to Lancer when it comes to hand-to-hand as a weapon to handle his fierce attacks. He's adjusting when he gets where he gets attacked. The Knight in the Red Cloak limits the attacks by creating fatal openings himself. Orange and licorice. Ugh. I hate licorice. That's just me, though. If it's if it's tasty to you, J6, then by all means, feel free. Of course, he'll die if he does not dodge these attacks. But if he's going to die getting wounds all over his body from trying to avoid an instant death, he'd rather an instant death with all his limbs intact. Most people would. You know, personally speaking, while I hope to never die, I would much rather it happen suddenly at once than slowly over a period of attacks. Otherwise, it will have all been for nothing. And fortunately, Lancer is still underestimating him. No, he's simply immersed in the battle itself. If they're going to keep on killing each other with just a difference in ability, then he can think of another 30 ways to showing openings. Predicting the enemy's movements using information given to previously and breaking the status quo from cultivated battle experience. That is the Mind of Steel, called the Mind's Eye, gained from training. This is nothing deemed as extraordinary. Mind's Eye, Mind of Steel. This is the only skill he possesses. Right. I'm pretty sure FGO says otherwise. It's not innate like Saber's instinct. It's a simple weapon that anyone can gain from training in a frank manner. Lancer withdraws his spear and stops for a bit. He observes the disgruntled bowman in red. It's obvious he's going to win. Archer has no chance of victory at hand-to-hand combat. That is something he knew. If Archer is a bowman like his name states, this cannot be a fair fight unless he is shooting from a distance. But he blocked the attacks. He's been at advantage and should not last a few more blows, but he blocked my full force attacks. Is he strong, or am I going easy on him? I sneer. Archer is a mysterious servant. I should admit he's strong in that regard. I mean, yes, but it's been elevated to the point where it could be considered a skill. It honestly could be considered a skill with how elevated it is. It's unthinkable that I'm going easy. The archer class really is made up of archers, you know. The first attack was aimed at the neck to blow his face off. Now that I don't really get. How is a neck shot supposed to blow off somebody's face? The second attack was aimed at the heart to smash his ribcage. That I understand. There's no way I'm going easy. There's no way, but it's certainly true I wasn't trying to kill him. What is there in a serious battle? A battle between servants comes down to a battle of noble phantasms. The fact that I'm cornering him without using that fatal attack is proof that I'm going easy. For that reason, the cause seems to be the expression of gratitude that he never heard before. Damn. Jeez, am I being serious? The sword clash harder than before. Both parties spring apart with sparks that fly. Lancer's full force blow, as if he's going to hit himself, is offset by Archer's full force attacks. I mean, it's still a skill. It is still a skill. It's why Gilgamesh can qualify for the Grand Caster class, because he has clairvoyance. And that's kind of one of the only Grand Servant qualifications we know of. Grand Caster requires you to be able to have some form of clairvoyance, and according to Orion and I think some data books, Grand Archer requires you to be able to never miss your target, no matter how far the shot. The distance between them is about 5 meters. With that distance, Lancer would be able to close that in an instant. I don't get it. The spearman in blue murmurs. You went under Caster, even though you're this strong. You and Reen would be able to defeat her. Lancer stops emitting murderous intent, but there is no opening in his stance. At that, Archer slightly smiles. I'm surprised. I was wondering what you were going to say, but you're still saying such things. Lancer, I chose the option that has the highest possible chance of victory. No matter what Reen thinks, I decided that there was no other option than this. His voice is full of confidence that has no sense of guilt. The knight in red actually did not regret betraying his master. Is that so? It was stupid of me to even ask. Archer agrees. Lancer snorts and quietly raises the tip of his spear. You're certainly good at fighting. You should be able to manage well with the path you chose. Shorts are going well. Shorts are doing steady with the uploads. I mean, the night range shorts for sure are the more popular of the bunch, but that's not surprising. Unlike Gil, Emia's clairvoyance is a matter of improved eyesight. Yeah, but who's to say it can't be developed further, though, J6? Who's to say it won't develop further into some form of precognition? But yeah, the shorts are going well. Night range shorts are doing the best of the bunch. And I have decided that rather than uploading the massive blocks... Yeah. I think that me liking other comments and replying to them all is acting as some form of motivation there. But I'm going to start splitting up the night range streams into individual runs with some of the downtime in between. I did that with the night range stream I did about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I just finished editing the night range stream from 2 weeks ago today, and it's split up into like 3 or 4 different vids, I want to say. Only 2 shorts between them, but that's fine. Yeah, I did see something about Uno being at casinos now. That's so weird. Like, are we gonna see a movie or a news story sometime soon about somebody who scammed a bunch of casinos by counting cards in Uno, perhaps? And excited for the summer event? Indeed. I am nervously excited because I've got a lot of rolling I need to do this summer, and I'm not going to have the most squirts for it. Everyone bring your Uno reverse. True. I mean, at that point, J6, just bring all 5 pieces of Exodia, and then you win instantly. Duh. Hey, Viper, welcome to the stream. Happy things. But yeah, I am excited for the story as well. I have no idea what to expect from this summer story. It is going to be another Servant Fest thing, so that'll be interesting. Exodia! It's the monster from Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like in the very first episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, where if you have all 5 cards in hand, you instantly win. So just have all 5 pieces of Exodia in your hand for any card game, and you should legally be able to win. I know, but now you do. You're certainly good at fighting. You should be able to manage well the path you chose. But that's not the right way. Your sword definitely lacks pride. His fighting spirit rises. Seeing that, the bowman in red smiles in delight. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have any pride. But what about it? Will my name as a hero be disgraced? Don't make me laugh, Lancer. I can wash off disgrace with results. You can feed your meaningless pride to the dogs. Well, as the people playing poker get younger and get to be more of the anime demographic, then eventually I'm sure it will happen. Or you just need to go to Japan, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is still pretty big in Japan, I think. What's that about bugs having the ability to jump? That's kind of random there, Viper. In an instant, the slightly relaxed atmosphere completely changes. The air freezes, the demonic spear with the magical energy to disrupt the order of the world and invert cause and effect is raised. The murderous intent that is released is nothing like before. In the midst of the tension where it is difficult to even breathe. You said dogs, Archer? Lantern bugs? I have no idea what you're talking about with lantern bugs. I know of lightning bugs or fireflies, but that's kind of it. The spearman in blue bellows in a voice that could drive crows away from the battlefield. Oh man. We know what Ku's trigger is. Dog. Don't say anything about dogs around Kuka Lane. The truth is, it's the truth, Kuka Lane. You have your pride as a hero. You should get rid of it right now. Well said. Then you die first. Lancer jumps back greatly. It's not the matter of distance to thrust his spear. The distance that is open between them in an instant is over 100 meters. Lancer leaps back to the entrance of the clearing and crouches on all fours like a beast. Archer's 5 senses freeze. Is it fear or awe? Whichever it is, he immediately understood the meaning of Lancer's retreat. The fact that his enemy's next attack is literally a fatal attack. You know about Gable's ability, right, Archer? Lancer, crouching on the ground on all fours, raises his waist. Ku, don't be assuming that position, dude. Like, that is not a position a battle-hardened warrior should be taking. His form is like a sprinter, waiting for the starting pistol. Okay, describing it as that is a little better. Archer doesn't have the time to answer. The knight in red throws away his swords and immerses himself in his own mind as fast as possible. But will he make it? Lancer's posture. His demonic spear is like the legend, the noble phantasm that blocks cannot be superficial. Here I come. Take this attack as a farewell present. The Blue Panther runs. Even as afterimage is far away, Lancer sprints towards Archer like the wind. The distance between both parties is 100 meters. Lancer's not going to thrust his spear with that running start. The blue figure crouches. The spearman that ran through 50 meters in an instant suddenly leaps up from the ground. In an instant? How? Okay, what's the world record for a 50-meter dash? 50-meter dash world record. Come on, Google, tell me. I don't want the AI overview, though. Never trust Google AI. So, about 6 seconds. But Coo's not a dog. And Scooby-Doo isn't on all fours at all times. Scooby-Doo often is on his, back paws. So, in an instant, so yeah, Coo is at least, like, if we're going power scaling wise, Coo is at least 6 times faster than the most athletic human possible, as far as a straight out sprint goes. And let's calculate that in speed. So that was a 50 meters in, let's say 0.1 seconds to mph. So how fast did he just move? So miles per hour formula calculation is, let's see, he moved around 550 meters in 1 second. So he just did a sprint of about 112 miles per hour. So Cuckoo Lane is slower than a sports car. I know. I was very much playing up that stereotype there. We didn't get how high he leaped. His body flies through the air. He holds up the magical spear that always pierces the heart once it is thrust. Space distorts. He's a guard dog? Maybe. According to the legend, that spear scatters numerous arrowheads once it's thrust into the enemy. In other words, soaring spear that... a spear of causality that responds to the words. The spearman in blue leans back as if drawing a bow. Soaring spear that plunges with death. We really need to see this version of Gabe Bolg in FGO. Like, they gave Archer a skill that changes the type of his NP. Melusine has a skill / ascension that changes the card type and the fact that it goes from single target to AoE. Coo needs the same. We need Coo to go from a single target quick Lancer with a skill to an AoE buster Lancer attack with a skill. And he slams down that blow with a roar. It's a noble phantasm that was made to be thrown. A spear that always pierces the heart once it is aimed. The cursed noble phantasm that cannot be avoided and will continue attacking the target every time it is avoided. That is Gabe Bolg, the spear of destruction possessed by the hero who never lost once in his lifetime. Maybe this year's JP anniversary? I mean, maybe. When is anniversary supposed to be for JP, by the way? I honestly have no idea, and I want to be cautious just in case of spoilers. That's the word I was looking for. There is no way to stop that thing that is shot out of with all of Lancer's magical energy. It cannot be avoided or dodged. Gonna ruin him as one of the potential kings of soloing fights. Okay, fair. Make it an optional thing then. Make it so that if you don't turn him into AoE, it just buffs. Like, make it an optional, either change him into a Buster AoE servant, or just give him Overcharge. I think that's reasonable. Give him Overcharge. Therefore, it is fatal. There's no way for one to survive once they're targeted by the magical spear. The magical bullet approaches. In a split second, the knight in red closes his eyes as if accepting death. The Thorn of Light clashes. The moment the Thorn of Destruction comes falling from the sky to directly hit the knight in red. 7 rings cradling the burning heavens. I like it when they actually say things that aren't recognizable to the normal, to like the worldwide audience, like Ro-Ias, Gabolg, Excalibur. You know, Ro-Ias is also something. So Emiya has the ability to change his NP between Arts and Buster. What he now needs is his clairvoyance skill to be upgraded to change his NP to Ro-Ias, so that it provides defense as well. See, Lasagna just needs to listen to random streamers, and they might get some ideas. The true name is spoken, shaking the air. A 7-petaled shield. The spear and shield clash. The spear of death which breaks through every protective wall and evasion. That spear is stopped. The fatal spear is stopped by Archer's noble phantasm, swirling up a storm of wind and scattering debris. The 7 flower petals that appear from somewhere protect Archer and oppose the magic bullet that tries to shoot him down. Who would know? This protection itself is Ias. The only thing said to have stopped the javelin of the great hero of the shield is the shield of Ias. There are 7 barriers shaped like flower petals, and each layer is as strong as a castle wall. It is a bounded field noble phantasm that is invincible against any projectile weapon targeted towards the user. A thrown spear would surely be defeated by a shield without penetrating even one of these petals. At the very least, Archer doesn't know of any spear that can break through this shield. And yet, that fatal spear breaks through it effortlessly. Oh, that was excellent. That was excellent. This shield should stop any spear, and there's no spear that can break through it, but this fatal spear breaks through it effortlessly. The 6th flower petal is destroyed. Only 1 remains. The magical spear reaches the 7th petal that has never been pierced through and doesn't stop its force. The unstoppable thorn of the magical spear. With that right in front of him, that was certainly a noise. MPs are reflective of what finds the servant they are for Emiya projection may trap. Yeah, I know. With a roaring spirit, Archer pours all of his magical energy into his own noble phantasm. Lancer, who has landed on the ground, stares at the servant in front of him. Archer has wounds all over his body. His stretched out arm is like a decayed branch. His face is distorted in pain, not only from the wounds on his arm, but from enduring a headache beyond his imagination. I'm surprised. I didn't think there was a spear in this world that could penetrate Ias. Your spear surpasses the original Gungnir. The knight in red compliments the spearman in blue from the bottom of his heart. I doubt that Ias' shield ever faced the original Gungnir that is in Gilgamesh's treasury. Gosh, Archer, you can't be saying that kind of stuff. There's no way such a thing would get through to Lancer. His strongest attack, the attack that made him his hero, was blocked. He's so angry that his glare should be able to kill someone. But that anger is almost erased by a strong wonder. It's too strange. It's true Archer is a mysterious servant. His identity unknown, he carries twin swords while being a bowman, and even showed a shield that could block Lancer's strongest attacks. Is there actually information on Gungnir? That is abnormal. Such a hero cannot be found anywhere in the world. Who are you? I'm just a bowman. Your judgment's not incorrect. Nonsense. A bowman would not have a shield that could block a noble phantasm. It depends. Yeah, I mean, as Iron Eye, I could definitely get a Nerd Tree Great Shield. So, you know, bowmen can have shields, Lancer. Don't be discriminatory. This is the result. I used up most of my magical energy. One of my arms is destroyed and ice is completely shattered. Jeez, that was my strongest protection. Lancer keeps glaring at Archer, who is bantering. Then, more importantly, have you noticed, Lancer? Cassie seems to be unexpectedly struggling. She's no longer supervising us. Archer adds, raising his arms as if to surrender. I see. So that was your intention from the start. Of course. I told you, right? I would only choose the option with the highest success rate. I really hate you. Lancer says bitterly and turns his back to Archer. His job is done. His role to distract Archer is meaningless now. There's no need for him to support Reen any longer. The spearman in blue turns on one heel and returns to his master hand. To return to his master hand. Lay on the grass to observe some more. Guild an exception. I'm trying to think. Is there any archer that uses a shield? Beyond Gilgamesh. I'd have to go through the concentrated list of all the servants in FGO. I desperately parry the constant flurry of fists. Kuzuki's fists are like live snakes. Even if I barely dodge them, they change their course of direction to come bite me the moment I avoid them. That's how Saber got seriously injured. Saber was grazed by Kuzuki's snake because she had the reflexes to dodge it. But I don't have such reflexes. I can't dodge them, and first of all, I can't even see his fists. I can't see them, so it's impossible to even dodge them. You kind of already said that, dude. My shoulder, Kuzuki's fist, grazes my left collarbone. It's like a sledgehammer. Feels as if my left shoulder is being shattered and I almost drop my dagger. Dagger? When did Shiro get a dagger? I stop and bear it, repelling the repeated fists, aiming toward my face with the dagger in my right hand. I desperately retreat. I retreat without regard to my appearance while Kuzuki closes in without revealing how he advanced. I shiver at his stance. I won't be able to withstand the next attack. It's absurd that I was able to parry all the attacks until now. Exactly, Kancho and Bakuya should be swords, not daggers. And yes, I know archers can have shields, but I want to see if there is an archer with a shield strong enough to block Gabeulk. I doubt it, but you never know. It doesn't feel real. My misunderstanding of being able to manage with just defense and being a decoy until Tosaka defeats Caster shattered from the very first blow. Kuzuki took our previous battle into account. Before I was able to fend off Kuzuki, who attacked Tosaka. So I thought I'd be able to block his attacks if I projected Archer's twin swords. But, on the other hand, that means I can't do anything without Archer's swords. He took that into consideration. This time the first thing he did was try to take away my twin swords. My right Shiro, you literally just called them swords. Unless we're about to hear that Shiro, you know, this is not the first time this happened and he just started resorting to projecting daggers. His fist, strengthened by Caster's Mage Trap, destroys... Oh my goodness. Can we get some consistency? First it's a sword, then it's a dagger, then it's a sword again, then it's a dagger again, and now it's a sword again. Make up your mind, Shiro. I immediately replaced the sword. I can't expect high quality from force they have to be doing this intentionally at this point. It has to be intentional. I can't control my breathing. I frantically block Kuzuki's snakes with my twin swords. My body just follows the twin swords. My limbs and copy Archer's movements have far exceeded the limits of my body. Also, they really should have thought of a better way to phrase it than calling it his snake. Just saying. And then there's this headache. My whole body erodes every time my twin swords are destroyed and I project new ones. It's different from using up magical energy. It feels like I lose one of the few magic circuits I have every time I make a new sword. I'm almost out. I might be able to make 2 more. It's over when my magical energy runs out. But first of all, would I even be able to make 2 more? Huh? I'm in the air. Kuzuki's right fist, the fist that he hadn't been using, was thrust like a spear. I parried the blow that tried to pierce through my chest and ribcage with my twin swords. In an instant, they were destroyed, and it seems like I was flung from the impact. I feel something hard against my back. I must have been flung about 5 meters. I try to resume my breathing and realize I can't breathe. The penetrating impact is numbing my heart. I can't breathe and I can't even move my limbs. Just for a few seconds. During that gap, my heart was resuming work. Ganjang and Moyi are the original names for the twin swords because Kansho and Bakuya are Japanese translations. Interesting. The devil approaches. This is it. The man would finish me off if I dropped my guard for only a second. With me like this, it'd be more than enough for him to kill me 6 times. I glare at my enemy. Even if my limbs don't move, there are still things I can do. I'm not one who wields swords to start with. My weapon that I fight with has always been magecraft. Then it's not over yet. My role is to hold Kuzuki down. I can't give up without fulfilling my role. Ganjang and Moyi are the names of the blacksmiths who crafted the blades. Okay. Alright, Orlina Dorsey, be timed out. I think it's / time out. Orlina Dorsey. There we go. Your wish has been fulfilled. Because that is essentially what the timeout point redemption is for. It gets you timed out. Yeah. I thought it was more of a meme point usage than anything, but, still. Huh? That hitting sound didn't come from in front of me. The structure of the sword I was imagining disappears. Kuzuki, who was approaching to twist my neck off, stops. The abnormality was behind him. It happened to Caster with the altar behind her. Yeah, I decided again that letting you guys time out each other is kind of bullying. So, Tosaka is also at an advantage. No, the burden is greater than mine since she clearly understands the difference in their powers. Caster points her finger towards her, full of composure. The magecraft is Ero. Caster has no need for incantations. To the witch that lived in the Age of Gods, she doesn't need a process to connect herself with the world. Caster always surrounded by divine mysteries that make the world go round. For her, magecraft was just something she commands. It's like ordering a guard dog to attack. 8th. She counters with her treasured jewels. She doesn't have the time to cast a spell, and she cannot match Caster's magecraft with simple spells. Their skills as a mage are as far apart as heaven and earth. To bridge that gap, she can only bring out the thing she had been accumulating for a long time. The crystallization of magical energy she has stored since she was born as the daughter of a mage. She faces the challenge, preparing to use the remaining 9 out of 10 irreplaceable jewels. How brave of you. I didn't think you had such a trump card, young lady. Caster keeps her smile even though her magecraft is being nullified by pure magical energy. Caster who can exercise magecraft almost infinitely. And the girl who opposes her using jewels as amplifiers. The difference is obvious. Yeah, and didn't Kirei sort of bankrupt Reen or something like that? I don't know how many jewels she has, but it should be around 10 or 20. There's no way she can defeat Caster with that amount. 7th. She neutralizes the electric charge with the 7th jewel. There are 6 jewels left. With 10 more spells from Caster, her trump card will run out. You dodged them well. So brave. You wouldn't run out of jewels if you're just protecting yourself. Without reacting to the giggling voice, she raised the jewel between her fingers in preparation for the next bullet. Just as Caster says, her jewels would not shatter if she were protecting herself. Each jewel should be able to block Caster's spell about 3 times. But she couldn't do that. Caster's magecraft covers the sanctuary once it activated. Kuzuki should be protected by her, but he's an exception. If she doesn't counter Caster's magecraft before it's activated, then Shiro Emiya, who's keeping Kuzuki busy, will burn and die. Therefore, it's meaningless if she protects only herself. I mean, that just means that Reen needs to rob a jewelry store, essentially, if she ever needs some more gems. And then, you know, fill them with her magical energy and all that, but I don't think she would realize that, or she's too proud to resort to theft. She can't let him die like that, and the premise of the strategy is that he stops Kuzuki. You still plan on protecting him? That's quite some conviction, but I wonder how long that'll last. The result is clear if all you do is defend, young lady. Caster's fingers move. 6. Winter River. In response to that, she makes the first move. Her jewels will run out, and she'll be killed if she keeps on defending. Excuse me. Caster's magecraft and her jewels. If the magical energy contained is the same, then that means it can beat Caster if she makes the first move. But she cannot surpass Caster's spells. If Reen Tosak is the fastest without spells and can establish magecraft just by releasing jewels, Caster is also the fastest that she can recreate divine mysteries with just one phrase. There's no first move in their battle. This is just a clash of power against power. Power. I need more power. The first one to lose from the clash and run out of magical energy loses. Then, 5th, 3rd, 4th. So she is using German. Finale. Flame of Swords. Synergy. She just needs to force her way through. She uses her jewels one after another and breaks through Caster's magical energy. There are 3 jewels released. No. Unless these impact frames are supposed to represent jewels, I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm counting 9 big bursts of light with many more small ones. Gosh. Illustrators. Additionally, she uses her treasured 4th jewel to add a synergistic effect. The magecraft is beyond her limits. You cannot use magecraft surpassing your own tolerance. She herself told him that. Is breaking rules to unleash the attack. The jewels are exploding. Okay, fair enough then. The attack would destroy not only the sanctuary, but the entire church had Caster not defended against it. But the witch in purple blocks it like it is nothing. No, it wasn't just that. Caster had swallowed all of her magical energy into her robe. Tosaka stands there in astonishment. Behind her, she can hear the sound of his defeat. The sound of breaking swords and his body slamming against the wall. The match is about to be settled. There's nothing she can do, and her body sways. She staggers forward as if defeated by her inescapable despair. No, that's it. You still have more jewels, right? Why don't you try until you run out without giving up? She has no energy to answer. Regardless of how many jewels she has left, this was the best she could do. If that didn't work, not even 100 jewels would be enough to hurt Caster with her magecraft. See, seems you finally realize you're no match for me no matter what you do. But it was fun, young lady. It's been a while since I competed with magecraft. Yes, I shall give you value just because of that. She stops herself from falling forward, suppressing her nausea with her hand, and keeps glaring at Caster. It is vexing, but this is a reality. Actually, you should be proud. Even though I did play with you, you forced me to compete in magecraft. Then Caster points at her, as if to pronounce her death sentence. Disappear. It's a matter of time until the boy is defeated by my master. Before that, let's finish this as well. Caster slowly murmurs her death. That opening. She had been waiting for that judgment. Second, strengthen. So, strengthen 1. Zwei is 1. I think. She only needs 1 phrase to release the spell. She hangs her head and smiles as she murmurs. Silence. Huh? I doubt my own eyes for a moment. Tosaka and Caster. Their battle of magecraft ended with Tosaka's defeat. Is it? Yeah, you're right. Dino. Ein is 1. My bad. Tosaka slowly staggered forward as if asking for Caster's forgiveness, and Caster released magecraft to finish her off. That moment. Tosaka counters with the released magecraft. That's fine. That's not surprising. Problem is after that. She punches Caster with a fired up stance. Okay, that's something. Just straight up clocking Caster. I got mixed up. Tosaka throws herself into the hellfire. She counters the released magecraft and, using it as a distraction, jumps onto Caster. Caster's surprise is that of a mage. She couldn't have predicted that the mage that lost magecraft would come punching at her. I didn't expect it either, so it must be like blasphemy for Caster, who's an excellent mage. But that isn't just a useless struggle. She closes in and lands 1 punch. A 1-inch punch. A 1-inch punch. A Chinese martial arts move on Caster's chest. A shattering sound. Tosaka must have strengthened her fist like Kuzuki as her blow easily breaks through Caster's defenses. You're a mage and you're fighting barehanded? Tough luck. Self-defense is a required subject for mages nowadays. No, if the opponent caster suddenly casts Fist. I'm honestly fascinated by her coordination. She drops to the ground right after a 1-inch punch. Putting both hands on the ground, she crouches down to Caster's knees. Caster has new hand-to-hand combat knowledge. It must look like she disappeared. Then she executes a foot sweep. Her kick, using her entire body as explosive, trying to kick off Caster's legs. Caster's feet are swept beneath her and lands on her back. But it doesn't stop. After the sweep, she stands up with her back turned to Caster, uses the turning momentum to jab at Caster with an elbow. Fly. Tosaka stops turning and throws a straight punch at Caster, putting her weight into it. Caster's body is blown away. Taking Tosaka's straight punch directly, Caster slammed into a wall, like me. Leaning against the wall, Caster pants dizzily. Got ya. There's distance between them. Tosaka kicks the ground, cover to cover. The ground to cover a few meter distance between them. The match is settled. Caster cannot move and the wound seems fatal. The battle only lasted for a few seconds. The match is settled within a 5-second interval after I was smashed into the wall, confronting Kuzuki. Caster has no energy left to fight back. Tosaka closes in on Caster with saber-like speed and delivers the finishing blow. Strengthening for just a few seconds using Magecraft. Seba? Okay, +1 to Seba. It shall be done. Seba, Seba, Seba. Seba is now at -3. Tosaka intended to fight Caster in close combat from the start. Caster only saw Tosaka as a mage. She acted like she was at a disadvantage so she could use that opening to achieve her one-time surprise attack. And the plan worked. Caster was deceived by Tosaka and completely lost. Tosaka has won the battle. Yes. No, that's far enough, Tosaka. If not for the man's monstrous athleticism. If Tosaka running into Caster was like a hurricane, then his speed is like a storm caused by the devil. No way. Tosaka stops. In front of Caster, leaning against the wall, is Kuzuki, who is just in front of me until now. Tosaka moves. The instant she feels death and immediately shields her face while jumping back. Kuzuki's right fist that blew me away strikes Tosaka's face. -3 to Seba. Sad day, but the people have spoken. Tosaka guards her face with both hands and jumped back, but she's sent flying. She smashed into the wall opposite from me with her arms dangling from above down as if they're broken. You missed your chance of victory. It's because of your inexperience you weren't able to kill her after 4 strikes. He says calmly. But that's not Tosaka's fault. The reason she lost her chance is because of me. If I had stopped Kuzuki, Tosaka would have defeated Caster. This is my responsibility. Our once-in-a-lifetime opportunity was lost because of my inexperience and Kuzuki's superior hand-to-hand combat skills. Caster regained her consciousness. With Kuzuki by her side, she extended her awareness to the entire church. It was all for naught. Ambushes won't work on Caster anymore. Tosaka barely has any strength left, and I only have 2 swords. This is bad. If they use her to attack us in this state, we won't be able to see the light of day ever again. That was close. I have to offer you my thanks, Master. If it wasn't for you, I would have been defeated right here and then. Save it. Wake Saber up now. It seems they're not the only ones who should be underestimated. Quite the keen observation, Master. Caster raises her hand and points at her on the altar. She's visibly bound by magical curses, just as Caster is about to set her free. Right. You know, had you done that just a few seconds faster? A sound came from above. I can hear the whisper coming from the stairs above me. Caster was the first one that noticed something was wrong. Kuzuki can't tell. Why? Because he can't detect traces of magical energy. Caster's on the move. Countless amounts of swords can be seen. Floating above, Kuzuki. Above Kuzuki. Perhaps Caster understood that she wouldn't be able to block the attack. She now stands in front of her master, trying to shield him from the assault. I was certain that the voice above me uttered such words. The guillotine has dropped. The room is now silent. The floating swords turned their gaze upon the single target on the floor and rained down upon them, piercing them. The swords vanish after they've cut through flesh and bone, leaving behind only traces of crimson. She chose to be a shield. Dragging her bloodied body, the woman looks back to the man she tried to protect. He says nothing, while his servant stands in front of him with countless piercing wounds. Maybe she feels she doesn't have to hide it anymore. Taking down her hood, the woman shows her real face and slowly approaches her master. Hey, we actually get to see her face! Her hair is far paler than this, though. She should have violet hair. Her body's crumbling. At the brink of her death, the woman looks at her emotionless master. She gently caresses the man's face with her hand. Okay, now it's more purple. It was just the shading. Master, are you alright? Her breath gets shallower with each fading second. He shows no changes. He simply utters a short confirmation and doesn't even bother to turn his gaze on Castor. I'm glad. I just can't afford to see you die. This is fine. Wait. The woman lets out a smile, realizing that perhaps she's content because of this man. Truly unfortunate, just when I had finally found my wish. The woman's hand drops down from the man's face. Her body starts to disintegrate from her feet. No need for you to weep. It simply means I'll fulfill your wishes in your stead. His simple and straight answer makes her smile. She smiles and I look at him like she's staring at... and looks at him like she's staring into a fading dream. I don't think that will be possible, because my wish had already been fulfilled. The Great Witch fades away as she falls into her eternal slumber. Her purple robe falls to the ground. Without its owner, the robe also follows its master and fades into the wind. Not spending a moment looking at Castor, Kuzuki turned his attention to that guy. The guy probably standing above me, the knight wearing a red cloak. My head hurts. It's not from the burden of projecting too many weapons. It's that chant. The chant that came out of that guy's mouth is attacking my brain with a constant feeling of nausea. Trey-san. I'm certain that's what he said. I keep telling myself it's not possible for him to whisper those words, but without a doubt he uttered those exact words. Archer walks down into the church. Tosaka stares, and Archer's probably still doubting her own... she's probably doubting her own eyes. I thought the possibility, but did you really? Archer's not saying a word. He focuses his sight slowly on his enemy, Kuzuki. A viper in one's bosom, I see. That was your plan from the very beginning, Archer. Right, but considering she was one of the many legends uttered in Greek mythology, I'd say a Trojan horse would be the more fitting description here. Archer betrayed Castor right in front of her master, yet shows no traces of regretting facing the same man. I see, it's Castor's fault for bringing someone like you into our fold. Even with the traitor sitting in front of him, Kuzuki shows no changes in his tone. He still has fight left in him. He's not a mage, and he lost Castor, but he has the will to keep his fight going. He resumes his combat stance. Without Castor, his combat ability should have decreased drastically. Even if he's still the same dangerous viper, Castor's boon, the turned fist of steel, should be gone by now. Despite that, he still decides to face Archer. I see. I won't stop if you wish to continue. Archer takes up his swords. There are unseen sparks between them. The battle is set to begin. Is that really for the best? Kuzuki said he's not interested in the Holy Grail. He was simply here to accompany Castor, truly a master, in name only. If that's the case, there shouldn't be any more reason for Kuzuki to keep fighting now that Castor's gone. Wait, are you doing this, Kuzuki? You were just following what Castor told you to do, right? Castor's not here anymore. You shouldn't have any more reasons to fight. My head hurts so much my consciousness is fading, but I'm fixing my sights on the both of them. And the stubbornness of Shiro Emiya returns! Kuzuki closes his eyes, but for a brief moment and answers. You're right, I have no reason to fight, because you see, like you, I'm not interested in this thing you call the Holy Grail. Then... Welcome back, Viper. However, this is something I've started. It means I can't just walk away and not finish what I've started. It's simple. His answer is plain and simple. fight begins. This battle between them will probably end in a single encounter. Even if Kuzuki possesses martial arts and skills beyond that of a simple human, his opponent is a servant. Simply being better than normal human is not enough. This fight is just an excuse to tighten a loose end. This is the fate of the loser. A fight between two masters is always going to be kill or be killed, so what's going to happen to Kuzuki is to be expected. If one is going to have a problem with this, then don't even step into this war. Even so. Ooh, okay, interesting. Decision point here. Decision point. Overwrite this save. And then I do actually have to put my milkshake away. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, what do we got? What do we got? Millipedes are gross and need to go away. I agree with that sentiment there, Viper. I definitely agree with that sentiment. So, two choices here. Why should I stop them? If I can stop them, why shouldn't I try? So... We do know there is one more dead end in this route. We do know that. I feel like... So, a lot of the dead ends I found have been doing what Shiro either would naturally do, which is put his life at risk, or... which ends up leading to bad consequences, or going against Shiro's natural instincts, and thus also dying. The question here is if this is going to be a similar case. Going against Shiro's instincts would be to, why should I stop them? Meaning, why would he bother? But then I was sure that, never interrupt two people. You hate killing each other. True. But then I was sure that, and I was kind of proven, soft proven, that if we did not interfere with Ilya, it would lead to a bad end. And it would have done that, had we not interfered with Gil murking Ilya. So, I feel like why should I stop them is one that could lead to a branching dead end. But... we've got to be getting close to the end of the route at this point, so I'm going to play it as Shiro would. If I can stop them, why shouldn't I try? If there's a way for him to be saved, if there's a way to resolve this without killing, is it so wrong to wish for it? I don't mind being called naive, and I know I'm a hypocrite. To a master, defeating your opponent means killing them. Kinda late, Viper. They are all aware of this fact before getting themselves involved thus far. They choose to fight knowing they will have to kill or be killed trying. I know how much of a coward I am for wanting to step in and stop them from fighting. And yet, if I'd already decided to fight for someone, to help someone, then I can't afford to lose a life, and that life can be spared. Stop, the fight's over, you don't have to fight anymore. I tried to stop them during my headache. In that moment, Kuzuki makes his move. Okay, yep. I think this was a dead choice either way. I'm actually gonna see. Is this another no actual choice? No. Huh. It was an actual choice. But it was not a dead end choice. Interesting. Maybe my move gave him an opening. Kuzuki shortens the distance between him and Archer in an instant and strikes right between the eyes. A strike that would have shattered anyone's skull, yet Archer decided not to dodge the deadly attack. A sound can be heard as the attack makes contact with Archer's head. The Red Knight chose to withstand his strike and used the opportunity to pierce through Kuzuki's chest. There's only silence. No one could utter a sound, even I'm at a loss for words. What is that servant information not updated? Is it with regards to Archer? Ah, no master. I'm guessing that's what it is. Also, look, he has more skills. Magecraft, Mind's Eye, Clairvoyance. Yeah, he has skills. If you were to take a body spray and lighter, make a homemade flamethrower, it would make sense to remove the flame from the spray or the spray from the flame. That is very inadvisable to do because the flame could very well travel up the line to the spray and thus cause the can to combust. So I would very much recommend not doing that. Kuzuki is dead. He died on the path he chose, like a ghost who left behind no words of longing, no feelings of regret or hope. My head hurts. I'm not sure if it's because my stress magical circuits is pressing against my nerves, or because I cannot forgive Archer for killing Kuzuki without even batting an eye, or because I'm mad at myself for being utterly powerless to oppose. Without knowing the cause, the sharp pain in my head gets even sharper. I turn my head towards the sound. With the caster gone, the binding curses should be undone. In front of the altar, at the back of church, Saber hits the floor. I cannot recommend that because that would be against Twitch's TOS, so I personally cannot have any opinion on the matter. Still lying on the floor, Saber's breathing is labored and in pain. Seeing her like that makes me forget about my headache. I rush towards her. I'm annoyed that even a few meters between me and her feels so far away. Oh, she actually has a sprite like this in that outfit. Saber looks up. Seeing me running towards her, Saber lets out a sigh of relief. Huh? She suddenly tackles me and sends me flying. A sudden blow from the side. I was knocked down without resisting. My body is sent flying and bounces hard against the floor. My back lands first on the floor. I'm still confused by what just happened, but just as I look up, in that moment, I hear the sound of metal clashing again. What? What I see is Saber armoring up, and right in front of her on the ground where I stood, there are multiple swords piercing the floor. I missed. It's him. I mean, is there any question about that? She's Greek. Ancient Greek, to be specific. The ancient Greeks were like that, so. He lets out a sound of disappointment as he keeps his sight on Saber. Not even able to stand upright, Saber glares at Archer. That bastard. I don't have to guess the reason. He fired his sword and tried to kill me from behind my back. Saber noticed what he was trying to do and instantly covered me. Tosaga stands there looking at him dumbfounded, while Saber wields her sword as if gasping for breath. Even if their positions are different, they harbor the same question. Now that Caster is defeated, why is Archer trying to kill Shiro Emiya? Only Archer and I stood unfazed by the interaction. That's right. I'm not surprised at what just happened. We have despised each other from the very beginning. We stood against each other knowing we will never get along. We both reject each other's existence, not even knowing why. Why? The reason behind why we must reject each other, if it's really what I think it is. Of course, he would want to kill me. I try to stand up after being knocked to the ground. Saber was pretty desperate. She probably charged into me without being able to hold back. Because of that, she can barely catch her breath. That's why I must stand up. If the samurai knew where to tackle me, it wouldn't be this weak. Right now, she barely has enough strength to even face me. If she used to go up against Archer in that body of hers, it would be no different than suicide. What were you thinking? Tosaka approaches Archer. And of course, she's confused. Archer only sided with Caster so he could betray her at the end and kill her. Now that he's succeeded, there's no reason for Archer to attack me. Your little act is over now, right? Caster's defeated, so I won't allow you to act on your own anymore. Won't allow? I don't get it. Why must I seek your approval to do anything? Especially when you're not my master anymore. What? Archer? My contract with you has ended. Now that I'm free, do you think I would choose to lower myself to be some human's lackey? Tosaka looks upon Archer like she can't believe what she just heard, but then a sudden realization hit her. Don't tell me, Archer. I act for my own goal. However, it'll be a little troublesome for you being there. Tosaka jumps back. She distances herself from Archer and starts running towards me while I'm still trying to stand up. But Tosaka was not able to do that. A storm of swords, 2 meters tall, is raining upon her. The swords come down in a circular pattern, stabbing in the floor to create a cage. A circular cage with barely enough space for a single human. No, I'm not comparing Medea to the assholes of Greek mythology. I'm just saying that many ancient Greek mythology is very horny. So it's not surprising that Medea is horny. The instant the cage is formed, Tosaka is trapped in the middle of it. Now that I've come this far, I won't let you interfere. The contract is severed, so the command spell you used on me will no longer works. That's the only reason I sided with Caster. In order to avoid the command spell you used on me, I must also avoid the contract. Archer starts walking, turning his back on Reen, who's now trapped in a cage of swords. He's not walking towards Saber, but towards me while I still have my knee on the floor. I knew it. Why, Archer? Are you still trying to kill Shiro? That's right. I'll kill Shiro Emiya with my own hands. That's my only wish. The wish of a man who's fallen to become a guardian. What? Strength is returning to Saber's body. She collects her thoughts, focuses her strength, and shifts herself between Archer and myself. Don't tell me. That reminds me, Saber. I think you once said to me that I don't have the pride of a hero. Of course not. It's impossible for me to harbor such emotion. The only thing I harbor is the feeling of regret. You see, Saber, I wish I'd never become a hero. Saber's will to fight is leaving her body. Maybe she suddenly understood something. Whatever it may be, she no longer has any animosity towards Archer. I've said enough. Now step aside, King of Knights. You don't have a master anymore, so if you do anything reckless, you'll disappear. Shiro Emiya no longer has the right to be a master. Your wish will not be fulfilled, even if you help him. I can't do that. Even if he's not a master anymore, my pact with him still stands. I swore I would protect him, that I would be his sword. He didn't know anything about the Holy Grail War yet. He has answered my one-sided wish. I cannot betray that trust. She holds up her invisible sword, but the brave and gallant knight is nowhere to be seen. I see. In that case, you can die here along with your full sword. Swords appear in Archer's hands. Saber can't even withstand Archer's attacks as she is right now. You idiot. Saber, run! I stand up and try to reach out for Saber. Maybe she's trying to stay far away from my reach. She focuses all her strength to her feet and rushes Archer. The fight is over after a few rounds of trading blows. The old saber would have undoubtedly overpowered Archer, but now she can barely swing her sword for seconds before she's down on her knees. She doesn't even have a sword in her hand anymore. In an effort to resist Caster's curse, she used up all of her magical energy. For Saber now, even taking in the air is an effort. She's facing down, all floors on the floor, and trying her hardest just to maintain her existence. Archer raises his arms, swings his swords down upon the defenseless Saber. I rush in. I muster up all my strength to block Archer's attack. I hold up my two swords. With the weapons I instantly projected in hand, I fix my sight on the Red Knight. Well, well, I thought you'd behave for a little longer. I guess you really can't stand a woman being killed right in front of you. Shut up. The person you want to kill is me. Then point your swords at the right person. The two of us continue to face each other. We both hold twin swords in our hands. Even though our stature may differ, our stance is absolutely identical. If you mimic someone long enough, eventually no one can tell you apart. However, can that body of yours withstand using this much magecraft? Of course it can't. You know that, Archer, silly. Why is Archer asking such an obvious question? Or a question with such an obvious answer, rather. A clear mockery. But like he said, I'm at my limit. My headache won't stop, and my accelerated magic circuits are at their limit because of my repeated projection. In my current state, if I continue to trade blows with him while maintaining the swords, my brain will explode before he cuts me down. I told you already, you're not fit to use projection. Using a magecraft not fit for you will only lead to your destruction. Seems you're paying the price for performing miracles until this point, Shiro Emiya. Archer is charging toward me. Shut the hell up, you piece of... At that moment, I meet Archer's swords with my own with such intensity as if it will make me forget about my headache. I swing my weapons. My movement is simply a mockery of my opponents. Excuse me. If my swords are borrowed, then so too is the skill to wield them. That's why there's no way I can match him. Even if I'm at my peak, I'm not able to defeat him. A fake can come close to the real thing, but it will never surpass it. That's why I didn't have a chance to stand up to this man from the very beginning. He told me to drown holding on to my ideals. He told me my life was a lie. I couldn't say anything because he was my ideal. The power to realize the impossible. A man who became a heroic spirit after saving so many others. I'm the one who wished to become like that. That's why I can't win. The man standing in front of me is the one who has reached the end of my ideal. If this man is truly the same person who wanted to become stronger to save others, the embodiment of Shiro Emiya's ideals. Swords shattered. While I was able to block his attack, I lost my swords in the process. My consciousness is fading. My body is uninjured, but what's inside of my body is bleeding, slowly withering away. Now do you understand? This is the limit of Shiro Emiya. It's a fitting end for someone who's been pushing himself past his limits until today. He raises his sword. Just when I try to discern which side the sword is going to cut down from my fading consciousness. Heed my words. My will creates your body, and your sword creates my destiny. If you heed the Grail's call and obey my will and reason... Tosaka's dignified voice echoes in the church. Maybe he was distracted by that. The sword strike loses its momentum, if that's the case. Even in my current body, I can dodge that attack. I rolled away on the floor to create some distance. Archer clicks his tongue. He doesn't go after me and looks at Saber on the floor. Then answer me. Thus I shall place my fate by your sword. Tosaka is reaching her hand out to Saber from her cage of swords. Responding to her call, Saber rushes to Tosaka with all her strength. Soulsborne style rolling. Indeed. Shiro Emiya has learned the most valuable lesson: how to dodge. Upon my name as Saber, I hereby accept your oath. Reen, I will acknowledge you as my master. This is the contract that should have happened. Saber is finally able to get the master she deserves. Hey, we got an achievement for that. Winds gather and whirl around Saber. Perhaps it's because she's gotten her real power back now that she has a proper master. The Saber facing Archer now is not the same person as before. What is this? I'm not the only one stunned by the sight. Even Archer is enchanted by what's happening. A surge of magical energy and a set of armor that's impervious to damage. The enormous magical energy which is enough to overwhelm anyone is truly infinite. That is Saber, the heroic spirit of the sword that's said to be the most powerful of the servants. Cough, cough, Gilgamesh, cough. I intended to have her forge another contract with Reen, but this is quite how I thought it would go. Maybe he can't spare any effort on me anymore, but Archer's only focusing on Saber. And what are you gonna do, Saber? Now that you've formed a contract with Reen, what happens with Shiro Emiya going forward is irrelevant to you. I've told you, Archer. My oath with Shiro stands. Saber says with determination. Irritated by her words, Archer grips his swords. I could ask the same of you, Archer. What are you going to do? If you still want to kill Shiro, you will have to go through me. Why are you calling BS? Now's your chance to rethink your decision. Should you go against me now? Well, I'm sure even you can understand how slim your chances are. Saber's words are true. In her current condition, she could go against Berserker one-on-one and still walk away victorious. Debatable there. I'd say that's very debatable. Oh yeah, her armor's definitely not immune. Shiro is just glazing her. Just like this whole line that she could 1v1 Berserker. No. She couldn't. Like, Excalibur Morgan cannot even eliminate all of Berserker's lives. So, no. Saber cannot take on Berserker 1v1. It doesn't matter who Archer is if he can't win against Saber. He understands that better than anyone yet. Look at you, brimming with confidence simply because you regained some magical energy. Not letting her respond, Archer charges at Saber. Swords clash. A bolt of crimson rushes towards Saber, and Archer swings with all his might. Saber blocks that attack without even flinching. Their difference in stature and even Archer's sudden burst of speed makes no difference. She parries Archer's attacks with ease. I mean, the original version of Broly? Maybe. But the new Dragon Ball Super version of Broly? Then yeah, I kind of doubt Goku could 1v1 Broly. Yeah, Archer's the one who falls back despite being on the offense. A single strike with utmost power and precision. I mean, didn't one of the original movie versions of Broly, like, turn into a biological mass and was defeated by a family Kamehameha wave? Not only was it blocked, he even lost his balance in the process. Archer falls back without hesitation. Seeing an opening, Saber attacks Archer with a fierce onslaught. There is nothing Archer can do other than block Saber's attacks. If he tries to counter Saber's sword, it will split his skull in that opening. No, he doesn't even have the spare effort to think about countering. The only resistance allowed for Archer is blocking Saber's attacks until he runs out of strength. We don't talk about Bio Broly. Sort of like how we don't talk about Mecha Cooler. Even then, that won't last long. The magical energy imbued in Saber's sword is simply chipping away at Concho and Bakuya. The twin swords can't stand any more of Saber's attacks, nor does Archer have much strength left. The end came sooner than expected. Not able to withstand Saber's assault, Archer falls down on his knee. What about Garlic Jr.? Can we talk about Garlic Jr. at all? Saber stops for a short moment, then swings down her sword. That decisive strike, Archer stopped it with the cross formed by his swords. The fight ends there. While Archer did stop Saber's attack, he can't move another inch. If he lets go even an ounce of his strength, Saber's sword will cut him in half from the skull down. Pouring all his strength into his arms, Archer stops Saber's strike. Sweat is dripping down Archer's forehead and he's gasping for breath. In contrast, Saber is calm and collected. In close-range combat, it's impossible for an Archer class to win against a Saber class. Pah! Oh, that definitely ages poorly. Because, Orion is an Archer. And Orion just casts Fist. Plus, I'm pretty sure Archer Herc would also body most Sabers. This is the end for you, Archer. You were worrying about me earlier, but I shall return those words to you. With Caster gone, and at the rate you've been using your Noble Phantasm, you shouldn't have much magical energy left. On top of that, you don't have a Master, an anchor to stay manifested in this world. You can't even replenish your magical energy. Just what exactly can you do in your current state now? You don't have to worry about that, Saber. Archer-class servants have a unique skill that lets them stay manifested independently. They can survive for at least 2 days without a Master. That's plenty of time for me to kill him. Are you still talking about that nonsense? Are you saying your wish is not for the Grail, but to kill Shiro? Oh, Saber's a little bit out of the loop. That's right, that's right, that's right. Archer didn't respond. His gold eyes simply stare at the baffled and troubled Saber. How can you wish for something like that? Archer, your wish is mistaken. Why? Why would you wish for an end like that? Even if you do something like that, you won't be saved. Saber bites down on her lips before she can finish her sentence. My wish is mistaken, huh? Archer puts more strength into his arms. He stares back at Saber. Right back at you, Saber. Just how long are you going to cling to that mistaken wish of yours? A brief moment of sadness flickers across Archer's eyes as he asks Saber. She grips the grip on her sword weakens. Archer seizes the opportunity to free himself and uses the opening to kick Saber off. Saber was sent backwards from that kick and lands, but she lands with grace. The situation doesn't change from a minute ago. A stalemate between Saber, who's protecting me, and Archer, who has his back turned towards the caged Tosaka. The distance between the two has extended to 5 meters. Okay, I didn't think I could match your sword skills, but to think it would be this obvious. Only reason Z Fighters won is because of plot. I mean, that's how most fights go, though. It's the plot that saves them. Plot armor, as they call it. The plot of it being a filler. The sword in his hands disappear, and he faces Saber empty-handed. I take that gesture to be you retreating. No, and I would stop your assumption. I'm an Archer-class servant. There are no archers in the world who prefer to fight with swords. Again, I'm almost positive that there is probably at least a couple. After saying that, in a whisper, Archer starts with an incantation. Stop it, Archer. We still have. Saber, one day, someone will be here to liberate you. It seems that time has yet to arrive, but I'm sure I'll be a part of it the next time you're involved. The incantation echoes in the church. Nothing changes in the surrounding. An incantation that long will most certainly affect the environment. Magecraft is something that works by exerting influence on the world itself. However, his incantation doesn't do it, but Well, that's a topic for next time. I only have one goal right now, and that's to kill Shiro Emiya. If you're standing in my way, then this world I'm creating won't hold back on destroying you. He raises his left arm. Does that mean he's completing his incantation? He did not do his full chant. Hang on, hang on. Yeah, he missed so much of his enchantment. Hold up. Why are they jipping us out of his full incantation? They cheaped us out. We should be getting his full incantation here, not this abridged incantation. With a clear phrase, he starts to exert his influence on the world. Flames erupting. The flames trace across the floor as if drawing a line. So that means the flames are creating a boundary around the church. The bright luminescence generated by the flames envelops the church. In an instant, the church was replaced by a strange landscape. My headache is overpowering my thoughts. I can understand this Maycraft, this bizarre scenery. It shouldn't be possible for me to understand, but I was able to decipher what it is happening right in front of my eyes naturally. And that fact is hurting my head more than anything. Sum it up in one word, this is a forge. Burning flames and rotating gears in the sky. Swords with no wielders are scattered across this wasteland. Every blade across the landscape is a famed sword. Even Kancho and Bakuya he uses were weaved from this world. A seemingly infinite projection of weapons. The countless weapons make this place look like a junkyard. And standing in the middle of this wasted kingdom is the Red Knight. What is this? There is obvious confusion in Saber's voice. Standing in the cold phantom flame, she looks at the Red Knight, bewildered. Reality marble. A forbidden spell that corrodes the world by materializing someone's mental landscape over it. That means that not only were you not a swordsman nor a bowman. Yes, I was a mage before becoming a heroic spirit when I was alive. Tosaka speaks calmly. Does that mean she already knew? Maybe she has already discerned Archer's identity. Then Archer, your noble phantasm is... I don't have anything of the sort. That's because I never possessed any blessed swords or cursed ones. This world is the only thing I have. If a noble phantasm represents the true essence of a heroic spirit, then this Maycraft, this reality marble, is my true noble phantasm. As long as it categorizes as a weapon, I can replicate it and store it in this world by simply looking at the original. That is my ability as a heroic spirit. Saber can't believe what she's heard. She looks around bewildered, seeing only swords in this wasteland, swords that feel no different than unmarked gravestones. This place was filled with a wasteland and iron, covered by a lonely gray sky. Are you telling me this is your world, Archer? Indeed. Would you like to give it a try, Saber? I'll replicate your sacred sword with absolute detail. Lies! My secret sword. Are you saying you know what it is, Archer? Of course. I might not be able to perfectly replicate a sword like that, but I can make one that's close to the real thing. What'll happen then, when two sacred swords clash? Do you think bystanders will live to tell the tale? How could you? Now you're getting it, so don't go waving around that sword too much, Saber. If you unleash its power, then I'll have no choice but to counter it. If that were to happen, it wouldn't be us who would perish, but the bystanders around us. Knowing you would sacrifice yourself to protect that boy. I probably won't survive after projecting a sacred sword. That means only a single person, Shiro Emiya, would survive. Then everything would be for naught. Welcome back, Janas. You missed out on the fact that Archer cheaped out on us with regards to his chant. Archer raises his left arm. At the signal, swords start to levitate behind him. Don't resist. You won't die if you're lucky. Just ask your master to heal you after my business here is finished. Archer's finger points at Saber. Countless swords turn and point at Saber. Every single one of these swords is capable of delivering a killing blow. Feel free to dodge if you like, but just know the man behind you won't be so lucky. He gives his command to the swords. The infinite amount of swords start their assault. Saber can't afford to move a single inch from her spot. Knowing a single mishap could be fatal, she grips the sword in her hand and strikes down each and every sword that rains down. My headache is taking away my ability to think. My magic circuits will only last for one more try. My devastated insides are scorched beyond recognition and on the verge of melting. But all that stopped mattering the moment I saw his world. Next thing I know, I'm focusing my strength and running up next to Saber, fixing my eyes on those annoying swords. It can't be here. Step back. Who cares? If my eyes can't keep up with the flurry of swords, what I need to do now is let my senses take over and analyze them. Even if my head can't process any faster, I'm still pushing it beyond its limits. The next wave of swords is coming. Feels as if the hammer of a gun knocks down on the back of my head. Don't. I reach out my left arm. I don't have a shred of doubt. I copied so many up until now. If the logic and method behind what I did is correct. Give me that bullshit, you bastard! Then there's no way I can't copy the flurry of swords before me. Their clash broke away UB-dub. Fragments shatter around us. When I open my eyes, his reality marble, or whatever it was called, is gone. What remains are the scattered fragments of swords and a hellish feeling of nausea that makes me gag as if I'm about to throw up my own organs. He stares at me with animosity. Wait, what do you think you're doing, Archer? Shira's VA is the same as Sasuke? Really? I guess I've never really watched the Naruto sub, so... Archer grabbed Tosaka out of her cage of swords and restrained her. She violently moves her body, trying to get away from Archer's grasp. I don't know what he's done, but Archer put his hand on the back of her neck, and her consciousness is gone. He did the Vulcan nerve pinch thing, didn't he? After that, he decides to leave the church. He holds Tosaka in his arms as he leaps up the stairs that lead to the ground above. Where do you think you're going, Archer? To a place that won't be interfered with by anyone. Besides, I ran out of magical energy. I don't have the strength left to finish with that boy when you're protecting him. Why are you taking Reen with you? Is she your hostage? I wouldn't put it like that. As long as she's with me, that boy has no choice but to follow. On top of that, Reen is now your master. You might think highly of that boy, but your master's life is irreplaceable. I'm trying to fight this nausea. Trying hard to hold on so I don't pass out, I respond to his nonsense. Outside of the town. And then, exhausted, I tell him without even looking at him. What? I just told you, head to the forest outside of town. There's an abandoned castle, and if it's there, we won't bother anyone. You have something you want to say to me, right? Fine. Let's hear it. There are things I want to say to you, too. I'm fading in and out of consciousness. Despite the nauseating sickness, I told him as much. The forest outside of town. I see. Einsburn Castle. Indeed, no one would interfere with us in that castle. Quite a resolve you have there, Shiro Emiya. Shut up. That's not important. I don't want to hear this flattery. If I have to listen to any more of it, my innards might burst out of my body from the unbearable pain. I dare you to lay a finger on her. If you do, I'll kill you even if I have to ask Saber for help. A sharp pain attacks me. I warn him in rage and claw my head to fight my headache. Fine. As for your reward for the location, I'll guarantee her safety for a day. But I would advise you to hurry up. I don't have much time since I don't have a master anymore. I won't even last 2 days. If I don't get to kill you before that, who knows? I might kill the hostage out of resentment. His annoying laughter lingers in my ear as he leaves. I fall down on my knee before I can see him leave. No matter how much you force yourself, even with your skills, it's too early for you to perform the same level of projection as Archer. She holds me down as I fall. She holds me as I fall down. I'm sorry, Saber. I let him take Tosaka. I try to stand up while holding my head. Don't worry about that. Green is fine. I don't think Archer would lay a hand on her. What you really should worry about is your body. Leave Green to me. You should go home and rest. No, we don't have time for... I feel like passing out as I try to finish that sentence. Damn it. I can't believe this. It seems I don't even have the strength left to form words. I'll hear you out later. Right now, I must take you back to your house. I assume you don't have a problem with that, right, Shiro? Wait, what are you? I don't even have time to say anything back. Saber lends me her shoulder as we're walking towards the stairs. The sky is still gray. We leave the now deserted church. So you're done with your business, boy. There. In the clearing right in front of us is the familiar spearman. Saber glares at him while supporting me. She's so tense she would slash at him without hesitation if he took another step. No, you're mistaken, Saber. He helped us. Do you mean Lancer cooperated with you, Shiro? Yeah, that's right. If you can, don't fight him, please. Saber stares at Lancer in astonishment. It seems like he's fully enjoying Saber's reaction. I understand, but why, Lancer? Is cooperating with Shiro and Rin part of some scheme? Are you stupid? Of course I am. I won't help someone unless I'm scheming something secretly. I knew he was that kind of guy, but he's thorough as he's making fun of Saber as well. What's so funny, Shiro? Was I laughing? Yes, you were. I suppose I was mistaken. It seems as though I don't need to support you if you're well enough to laugh. It's bad, but that made me feel a bit relieved. Saber's the same as before. Our connection is gone, but she's here just like before. Then what's there to regret? My bad. I guess I'll let my guard down. Now's not the time, huh? Yeah, those are some puppy dog eyes, indeed. Yes, we should rest for now. Even if we are to get Rin back. Lancer, I don't know what your objective is, but you should be done with your business. Then leave. I'll not fight you now. She declares in a dignified manner and goes down the clearing. Huh? Hey, everything went well, or I guess not. What happened, boy? Archer took Tosaka away. We're just going to get her back. I bear my dizziness and answer looking into Lancer's eyes. What? Hold on, what's going on? I'm sorry, but I don't have the energy left. I can't give such a long explanation, so I should go home and... Archer's objective is to kill Shiro. In order to do that, he's abducted my master, Rin, and requested a duel with Shiro in exchange. Her safety will not be guaranteed if we do not go to him within a day. Well, it was helpful for you to explain that on my behalf, but there's no point in telling Lancer that, Saber. Damn, he really did it this time. Then, he takes off his friendly face and grits his teeth. So what, he betrayed his young lady not once but twice? Yes, that would be the case. What about it? Don't what about it, me. Damn it, I changed my mind. That was the only help I was going to offer, but let me help you a little longer. I won't be able to have a peace of mind like this. See, Lancer's a good guy deep down. Lancer spits out and starts walking. Saber stares at Lancer silently. I understand how she feels. Lancer's back looked like he was telling us that he'll join us. I'm troubled. What kind of magecraft did you and Rin use to get him on our side? Saber's voice sounds more shocked than amazed. But unfortunately, I don't have the energy to answer, and my wounds are starting to hurt again. No, first of all, I'm the one who wants to ask that question. You know, if this were the memes, then Saber would instantly be demanding a meal. Rin's safety be damned. Interlude. Interlude. Whose interlude's gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Also, I've not been getting Saint Quartz. This has been 2 interludes done today, and I've not gotten any Saint Quartz from doing them. And I recall his dream. The memory of the man who was set up as a hero. The story of a knight who came to a place that I can't reach. Whose end came to a place I cannot reach. That hill in his world. the desolate wasteland that the man obtained by fighting for others. Apparently he died smiling in satisfaction, holding on to this view. He's seriously stupid. Yes, that just makes me seriously mad. He tried his best, worked hard even though he was an ordinary person, and finally obtained a miracle with his own blood. Then it'll be a lie if he doesn't become happy. If he made many people happy, then he had become happier than all those people combined. But he didn't receive such a reward. The only thing he was given was the fate to be used as a counter-guardian after his death. That's right. Why didn't I realize that? Counter-guardians are summoned into every age. Does that mean they're summoned from every age? In other words, from the present and the past, and heroic spirits can even be summoned from the future we have not yet seen. Yep! For guardians who are pushed into a position off the axis of time, this concept of time does not exist. I mean, for servants it doesn't exist either. Like, isn't it in Samurai Remnant, which takes place in the Edo period, don't you summon Jeanne d'Arc? Or something like that? At the point they become a heroic spirit, they sublimate into something other than what they used to be when they were human. No, heroic spirits exist in a place out of time called the Throne of Heroes, and that is just like a giant hangout spot, as evident by the fact that Kiyohime, Tamamo, and the like have all taken cooking lessons at the Enmatai. They really need to get their lore right in this first entry into the full Fate series that was later expanded upon. Then, it is possible for a guardian to be summoned to the place and age they lived in when they were alive. It's vexing when I think about it. It's because neither of them gets any salvation. The one that watches his past self, or the one that watches his eventual self, they'll only be hurt by how they changed. I already know the end of this big idiot who tried to help others. He became a counter-guardian by choice. He thought it was more than he could ask for if he could save people even after he died. He didn't have the power to save people when he was alive, but he believed that he could break through any tragedy as a counter-guardian. Thinking so, he made a contract with the world to give his body after death, and saved hundreds of lives. Exactly, the lore has been so expanded. This is a remaster. They should have updated all these unspoken lines with the proper lore. I kid. He believed he would be able to save tens of thousands of people and more after that. But he was betrayed by such hope. Places where heroic spirits and guardians appear are only hell. Where counter-guardians appear are only hell. They only appear when the world is about to be destroyed by people. Humans are beings that perish by their own doings. That's why the process of destruction should always be the same. He was only summoned to these hells. In the land where the ones he wanted to save were already dead. He killed even more people. The boy who said he didn't want to see anyone cry. He could only see humans crying forever. There's only one thing I can say. He's been betrayed by many things the whole time. And in the very end, he was even betrayed by the only thing he believed in. His ideal. Yeah, poor Shiro. I'm the bone of my sword. Steel is my body, and fire is my blood. Oh, so we don't even get to hear his chant in full from his lips. We just get to read the chant. I've created over 1,000 blades, unknown to death, nor known to life. Have withstood pain to create many weapons. Yet, these hands will never hold anything. So as I pray, unlimited blade works. That was the only spell he was given. What is that? It makes me so mad that I want to beat his chest and scold him. I, Rin Tosaka, have never had any hardships in my life. That's a blatant lie! Hold up, that is a freaking lie and a half, thank you very much. I'm sorry, Rin, but I would consider losing your mother while young, having your younger sister forcibly sent away, having your father killed, being raised by Kirei Kotomine. I'd say those are all qualify as hardships. So I might not have the right to say it, but I believe in working hard and going through pain, It's not wrong to be rewarded for your battles. That's why I'm angry at his unrewarded life. And most of all, I can't leave him, who ended up cursing his life, be. As long as you're my servant, I won't do anything other than what I believe in. I'm not naive as Shiro Emiya, but there are still things I cannot give up. No matter who it is, I don't have any intention of giving up. That's right. That's why I swore that, as long as I'm his master, I believe in my path like he used to do. That's all I can do to show him. That's about the only way I can repay him. That might have been meaningless, but at least I do it so that Archer, who lost sight of his own past, could realize his life was something he could be proud of. The first thing I notice when I wake up from my slumber are the sensations in my limbs. They hurt and I can't move them. I'm tied up. Plus, I'm sitting in a chair that seemed to be sleeping in an unnatural position. Oh, I know where this is. I don't want to admit it, but I'm in the worst possible situation. To be honest, I can't do anything. My hands are behind the chair and restrained by something like handcuffs. My ankles are the same, and I can't stand from my chair. On top of that, my handcuffs and shackles are magecraft resistant, and my magic circuit is so messed up that I can't even create magical energy. Excuse me. Now that I've confirmed my situation, I check my surroundings. It's cold. The room made of stone has no heater, and it's an abandoned place that hasn't been used for a while. It's dark outside the window. From the looks of it, it's probably past 10 p.m. or so. So what you planning, Archer? I glare into the darkness. The shadow of the pillar. The knight in red is sitting on a pile of rubble. Nothing. You're just bait to lure Shiro Emiya. You should know that. Shiro would come even if I wasn't here. You should know that. Yeah, but it would be inconvenient if you were with him. I'll have you stay here quietly until things are settled. Archer states without appearing in front of me. There's no sign of the previous intimacy. He really is a calm assassin now. I see, so you'll kill Shiro no matter what? Yeah, naive man like that should be killed right now. He replies as if it's only natural. The only thing I see from here is the shadowed side profile. His expression is cold as if he's wearing a mask. That makes me seriously infuriated. I don't even need to be told that Shiro is naive. I take a breath. It'll end if I say this. Archer will never come back to me if I say that. I take a breath and stare at the man in the shadows. But still, I think that naive part of him is lovable. He needs to be like that. I'm saved by having a guy like that. But what about you? You did this much, but you think it's wrong to preach a selfish ideal? You fought for others again and again, got betrayed again and again, and you're forced to clean up after them again and again? Did you end up getting fed up with humans from that, Archer? I get even more angry as I speak, yelling at the top of my lungs. Archer doesn't answer. His side profile consumed in the shadow is no longer the side profile I knew. Interlude completed. Still going with this day, good gracious. You cannot save everyone. When I heard that from the man I believed When I heard that from the man I believed could save everyone, all I felt was repulsion. Look, Shiro. A hero of justice can only save those he is sided with. I didn't like those words either. I didn't want the person who I thought was a hero of justice himself to say such realistic things. Since that time, my life has just been trying to overturn those words. There's no need for sacrifices. Nobody will be hurt if you work hard and do your best. My old man must have always admired that as well. I mean, J6 is the reason Seba and Bunny Toria are so low. Yeah, I'm relieved. But you know what? That's his decision, and you cannot bully him for it. Remember, the only person you're allowed to bully in this stream chat is me. I can't look away from his final moment. Tosaka said such a life is distorted. I know. I realized that a long time ago. There's no such world where nobody gets hurt, and there's no happiness where nobody gets hurt. Such a convenient utopia does not exist anywhere in this world. The hero of justice that I'm trying to become is just a hypocrisy. There is nothing at the end of helping people. So, I know that without having to be told. It is a false life where neither others nor yourself can be saved. I mean, everyone will get leveled up eventually. It kind of just depends on my reserves of Embers, QP, and how lucky I am with my rolls. Because, I mean, if everything goes well after the summer event, I should be having 6 new servants being added to the level up order document. So, because I mean the summer servant as well, obviously, but I mean, beyond that though, I am blind for the rest of the year outside of knowing the name of some of the events. So, maybe more servants could be added throughout the year. Maybe nobody else will be added through the year. I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah. Even if that's true, I won't let you say it. I don't care if anyone other than him denies it. But I won't let him say it. Same things. You have the same beginnings. And even if I were to turn out like that... No, that's why I have to deny him. So that he doesn't approve of the former Shiro Emiya. As long as I'm here, I won't approve of him. Even if this dream is distorted. If I believed in this and decided that I'll keep on believing in it, then I wake up, look at the clock right away, and see it's past 11 p.m. Are you awake, Shiro? Saber says in a calm voice, sitting on her knees. So, 2 of them are... So, outside of summer, there's going to be 2 more free-to-play servants. Okay. I mean, again, it kind of depends, because I am, like I said, I am blind going forwards for the rest of the year. It's going to really depend on if a servant calls out to me more than anything. You didn't say free to play. Interesting. It's already been half a day since we came back from the church. She must have been watching over me the whole time I was unconscious. Yeah, I'm awake. My body's fine. My fatigue went away and my headache is gone. I get up from bed. The sensations in my limbs are back to usual. The magic circuit I overused is still exhausted, but it hasn't burned up. Are you going, Shiro? Saber suddenly asks. The answer is obvious, so I silently nod back. Understood. Then I shall go with you. But Shiro, Rin is my master. It's my duty to rescue her. I'll stop Archer, so you... Uh-oh. Error. You already finished your talking point there, Saber. You should not there should not be a quotation mark here. Or there should have been another line of dialogue separating this one, or another line of thought separating this line from this line, and then you needed another quotation mark here. But because there was not, this quotation mark here should not exist. Error. For shame. No, it's the other way around, Saber. I'll fight Archer. I interrupt Saber. She looks at me uneasily. No, Shiro. Archer's your... She hesitates, having a hard time saying it. I know. I think I knew who he was from the first time I met him. I was repulsed by him without reason from the first time we met. I stubbornly hated him, thinking I could not approve of him. That's only natural. Any person would look like that if they're shown their own mistakes. Yeah, but that's why I can't approve of what he did. I have to settle the matter with him, my match with him. I stand up. My body's in great condition. There's only a half a day until time is up. I can't spend any more time resting. I'm not in the position to be able to say this, but please, Saber. I'll fight Archer. I don't want you to help me no matter what happens. I bow as I ask Saber. No, there's no need to do that, Shiro. I shall obey if that's your wish. I swore I would be your shield. I shall see your fate off until the very end. Her answer is perfect. Her dignified voice sweeps away the uneasiness lingering in my mind. Thanks. It's reassuring to know that you'll be watching over me. Yes, I'm glad you're you, Shiro. She smiles back. We've prepared for departure now. Still going! We leave my house. Who would have thought that we would go back to that castle again? Hey, you guys aren't listening to me, huh? Huh? What? We both turn around. Oh. Come to think of it, Lancer was still there. You have more free time than I thought. It just slips out. He seems to be aware of it himself, so he doesn't seem to deny it. I don't know what you're scheming, but you have nothing to gain by joining us. Archer is a servant without a master. I don't think that your master would want you to defeat him. Yeah, I know. I have no intention of fighting Archer. I won't interfere with their fights, so don't worry. Then what are you following us for? If you wish to settle the score with me, we can do it right here. No, I'll pass on that too. I have no intention of opposing your master. Rather, I want to do her a favor. I want her to be in debt to me. Saber glares at Lancer, and Lancer aloofly ignores the stare. Fine, do as you wish. It would help us out, if you were to rescue Tosaka. Lancer's an enemy. You can't make such rash decisions. Don't worry about that. He's twisted, but he doesn't lie, and he can't do anything sneaky. He'd defeat us head-on before he'd want to do it. He'd want to trick us. That's true, but yeah, I feel like Ku would be very much anti-sneaky combat, just because of his myth. And I'll drive him away if you don't want to, but he'll follow us even if we let him be. In that case, it's easier to have him by our side so we can keep an eye on him, right? You've become quite a smooth talker within just a few days, Shiro. A lot happened. Anyway, that's it. Lancer, we won't concern ourselves with you, so don't bother us either. You're fine with that. If you're fine with that, then let's go. I called to Lancer, who's watching us with a smile. Good enough. You guys make a great pair. Saber's inflexible just as she looks. It's good you became mature. That's not true. Shiro's the inflexible one. You don't know how much trouble I've been through. They're both stubborn as mules. I don't know. What would you tell me if I ask? Fine, we have a lot of time until we get to the castle. Let's entertain ourselves on the road with your stories. Why do I have to explain such a thing to you? You have nothing to do with this. Saber accuses Lancer. Wow. Saber and Lancer really don't get along. I think they're getting along. They're bantering like friends. Saber and Lancer, I feel like they get along. I didn't think Saber would yell at, like, Tosaka. Oh well. Let's get going. We don't have much time to be playing around. We need to get to the castle as soon as possible. I leave the two behind and start walking. Shiro, I'm not playing around. She must still be worked up as she yells as she catches up. Lancer keeps his distance from us and follows us aloofly. It's midnight. I know how long it takes to get to the castle from here. We should be able to make it in time. We'll most likely get there by dawn. We head towards the masterless old castle in the forest and start walking in the night. Masterless? Dun dun dun. And that is the end of day 14. Good gracious, this day went for longer, and I'm pretty sure that there is going to be 16 days in this route. The Fate route only had 15 days, if memory serves. Excuse me. Draco is already leveled up, Viper, so you may repick if you so wish. Day 15 is going to be the longest. Oh joy! That's something I get to worry about next week. But, let me confirm this real quick. Am I right? Well, that's a spoiler. No. Okay. Huh. So, it did go... Yeah, again, this is like, Tia Mama's also already leveled up Viper. Yeah, there's some inconsistency here. Like, this is day 13, this is day 12, but this is day 13. This is day 13, day 12. Where was it that it repeated? I think it was here. No, this is day 11. Yeah. There's some errors in this, so... Day 16. So we should be going to day 16 here with, this. Also, I've got to wonder, is that symbol only going to appear for Saber, or is it going to appear for somebody else as well? But we are essentially closing in on the end. 2 more days, so 2 more streams of Unlimited Blade Works. Possibly 3 if I want to go back and go through every branching pathway to find any funny bits. This was an affection choice? Huh. But, yeah, so I think I'm going to call this stream here. So, I have been SoulWreckDragon. I hope you've all enjoyed today's stream. If you have, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. If you want to check out more by me, be sure to check out my channel here on Twitch or YouTube. Same name, same games. There's plenty of content for all to enjoy. Make sure you like the video, comment on it, subscribe to the channel, and join the Discord, etc., etc., etc. Thank you all so much again. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. Viper, just make note, Viper has a random +1 to any servant the next time he shows up in stream. But have a fantastic evening, everybody.